Guard Lieutenant Wolf. You step into my Readier Room, please, and bring a tricorder with you.
Hi, Captain. What do you make of this? I am puzzled, sir. The only detectable bioelectrical symbols are your own. You did not know. I did not.
Welcome to the Readier Room, the only and longest-running Star Trek The Next Generation rewatch podcast. Every week of the year, we're bringing you an episode of TNG and all the behind-the-scenes stories that made that magic happen. My name is Mitchell Mills, Chief Consultant of Services at Paramount. With me is my life partner, Brandon Hobbs, ex-head of Resources Management. Brandon, I'm doing pretty well today. Wanted to get that out there
good.
before I even broach the topic with you.
This is a new format.
Yeah. Well, it's good to innovate in the realm of entertainment, right?
Keep the ensigns on their toes. Subvert their expectations.
You see, the podcast industry and podcasting is like a shark.
Is it in a tank?
No. It has to keep moving forward at all times. Otherwise, it will die.
Is that true?
Would I say it if it was false?
I thought with sharks it was like they can't look sideways or something.
No, that's dogs. And Batman.
Some incarnations of Batman.
Right. Depending on his cowl.
Not Zack Snyder's masterpiece.
No, of course not. I believe Adam West could also look to his side.
Yeah, I think so too.
But
he carried the silly bomb.
He did. He's also dead now, which is the curse of
Adam
Batman.
West is dead.
Yeah, he's been dead.
Everyone who plays Batman ends up dying, which is crazy.
Right? It's insane.
Well, I'm a little sad today, Mitch, because it's just come out that Woody Allen has announced his retirement.
Oh, from what? Molestation?
Right. All those movies he was making.
Well,
like
Woodrow,
Wasp 22.
All I'm
saying.
Here's the
thing: he's going to be missed.
My favorite movie of all time is Annie Hall. Have you seen Annie Hall?
Haven't seen Annie Hall.
What? That's bizarre. We never watched it together?
I don't think so.
Well, it's a comedy.
You've been hiding it from me?
I have the DVD stashed under the sofa for a rainy day.
Like many other things.
Right. A few nickels, hash pipe. All that stuff, but Annie Hall's ostensibly a comedy, and it's really funny, and it's got good performances, got great writing, it's even directed really well. It's the only thing in my mind that stands as evidence that Woody Allen is a creative talent.
Woody Allen was in
and not just
Casino
some
Royale.
weird Tweety Bird looking motherfucker.
He was in the old Casino Royale.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he play the arch villain?
I forget who he was.
Was
honestly.
he Bond?
He was not Bond. I don't think. I don't think he was.
Yeah, shaken, not stirred. Don't stir my martini.
Oh, jeez. He's got a full flush.
I'd watch that movie.
The actual film or the film if he were Bond?
No. I'd watch there's a movie called That Movie, which I would watch.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Except, you can't find it?
Well, it's still in, the conception stage. It's all up here in my mind.
Have you seen this thing going around with
COVID?
that teacher with the big fake knockers?
Yeah. I have.
Yeah. That's it.
Do you have anything to add to that?
No. I just wanted to make sure you saw it. So,
Yeah, when I was in school, we couldn't take pictures of our teachers' big fake knockers.
Right. Those kids are really lucky.
Right.
I wonder if she lets them play with the fake knockers.
I saw a tweet on the scenario that said something to the effect of, it's very strange that people suddenly care about Canadian high schoolers. That's strange.
It's such a brain dead argument. They're doing, and not that I care about the Little Mermaid. You know, you're seeing this all over Twitter now. That's the argument they use for that too. It's, oh, you're a grown man, you care about the Little Mermaid. And it's like, it doesn't matter who's really right here, whether or not like it's a good casting choice. I don't really care. But that argument is just such a cop out. It bothers me so much because what you're admitting is that it actually doesn't matter from your perspective either.
Right.
It's not what you're admitting is it's not worth caring about, which is just not true of anything really.
Well, there's always been this underlying misconception about discourse, I suppose, that
Sure.
If you ever talk about anything, you are extremely invested in it.
Right. Yes, yeah. You definitely see that a lot on the internet, and you've seen it a lot for a long time. You know, you'll go to a forum about video games, right? And then inevitably there will be that one guy who comments, "Oh, it's just a game, bro. Why do you care?" Well, you know, I am on the forum dedicated to this very niche subject, so I don't know what else I would be talking about if not this. It's kind of like Star Trek.
Right. What is there to talk about if not Star Trek?
Right.
It's like, oh, why do you care that Lower Decks looks like a Flash animation?
It's not for you.
Lower Decks. Lower Decks. Lower Decks.
Oh yeah, we needed to. It's been a while. We had a little hiatus.
We did.
I bought a cat, and I bought a cat, and I didn't realize how much effort it was to take care of.
Did you name it Spot? Like Data? Like Data's cat from Star Trek?
No, not at all. No, I named it Geordie.
Ah, that's a good one. It's kind of like what H.P. Lovecraft did.
Right? Yeah. That was what I was the effect I was trying to get there.
Very nice.
Just make it a little subtle, though, right? And then
the true ensigns will get it.
When I the next time I see a cosmic entity, I can say, "Save me, Geordie."
There was I saw a comic. It was a randomly generated comic, which sounds like a strange concept, but it just basically there's a bunch of panels that I could choose from in it. Pick them. So the first panel was like a ghost spirit popping out of a guy and scaring another guy. And then the second panel was the first guy saying, "Just kidding, there's no spirit." And then the third panel was I think there's like an alien. Like the first guy turned out to be an alien. And the title of this was Bloodborne.png.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great.
The cosmic entity reminded me of that.
Oh man. But yeah, there was some kind of Star Trek show.
Lower Decks?
What? No.
The Orb?
No. I hesitate to call it a convention because it wasn't. What was that Star Trek event?
DashCon?
Not DashCon. There was no pool.
The Readier Room? I don't know. I know what you're referring to, but I don't remember the title at all.
Yeah. Shit. What was it called?
I'm just gonna look
but
at the
anyway.
video.
Yeah. Do you have the video?
Well, you sent it to me.
I did, but how far back was that?
Oh, I'm trawling. There's Gates McFadden in that Fiber commercial.
Right.
Alright, okay. Paramount ruined Star Trek Day.
Star Trek Day.
Amazing
Yes,
that
Day
the brain trust that is the Readier Room could not conjure up that one.
Star Trek Day 2022, baby. absolutely embarrassing. You can watch the full video, which is an hour and 45 minutes long on StarTrek.com/day.
Or you could watch a 6-minute compilation.
Right, and save yourself the trouble. Now, in attendance at Star Trek Day was, of course, Will Wheaton.
Mm-hmm. De
And a
facto
bunch of
Star
people,
Trek mascot.
a bunch of people that no one cares about. I think there was a woman from Picard, right?
Perhaps. Are you thinking of 7 and 9? What's her name?
Oh, she was there, right?
I don't. Maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. It was a bunch of people no one cares about. But yeah, very funny video.
Indeed, I was immediately, and obviously this is it's stranger than fiction, really, that the musician that opens up the event with his little sample pad.
Yep.
And he's just, I don't know who that guy was. Is he a paid musician?
He probably is, and that's the sad thing. I bet the crowd was really rocking out.
Oh yeah, the big overlap between Star Trek fans and sample pads.
Bad music. They probably can't even tell.
Their autism blinds them to that kind of thing.
Right. They're looking around like, is this good? Should I be excited?
Yeah, Star Trek.
Who sits in the audience for this kind of thing? Are they paid?
Yeah, you got, like, given the option between attending a Star Trek Day and just getting the news online, I can't fathom going anywhere. But then again, the convention circuit being what it is, people will go farther for less.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, that's true.
I gotta watch Bill Shatner answer the question of what was it really like on the set.
Right. Or Jonathan Frakes telling us stories about Gates tap dancing.
Yeah. Jonathan Frakes. Well, how did you get the beard, John? John?
Oh God. What else we got going on?
I've been watching Breaking Bad for the first time.
Oh, is that right? I've been thinking about doing that. I've been hearing it from your corner of the room. I didn't know what it was though.
Yeah, it's a mix of Spanish mariachi music and gunshots, but it's fine. It's good. No, it's more than fine. It's pretty good, but I'm just so suspicious of it. My late brother used to enjoy it back before cancer took him. I guess I suppose rather ironically, but it's I was suspicious because he was a complete moron, and I'm very very
and you're very smart.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm very very suspicious of anything recommended to me by idiots, because and then once you begin enjoying it, you're like, am I also dumb?
Well, any popular show will, just by the nature of how life works, will be enjoyed by a ton of idiots,
right?
Even if it's good. So, I've heard it's good, and I think I've heard from people whose opinions I tend to respect that it's pretty good. So, I might join you in watching that at some point. Are you going to continue and watch Better Call Saul?
That's a good question. I actually just the other day watched the episode where they introduced Better Call Saul. And
Better Call?
Yeah, Better Call Saul. And Better Call Saul is obviously a very electrifying character. Bob Odenkirk does a good job. I mean, that's why they spun him off. But I don't know if I'll have that type of energy in me once I get to the end of 5 entire seasons. Halfway into season 2 right now. But
yeah, I don't trust a spin-off being being good. I don't know.
If it was, I trust the concept of I want to watch more Bob Odenkirk. Like, okay, I get that, but I am intrinsically suspicious of sequels and spin-offs because
People hated the ending too.
Of Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
And, I've seen the ending of Better Call Saul on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you what it is? Because it's kind of
No,
funny.
I know what it is.
Oh, you do?
I know what it is.
Oh, have you watched it?
No.
Okay, but so let me describe the ending scene then for the ensigns. So Better Call Saul is on a bus into prison, and it's black and white, and one of the inmates in front of him kind of turns around and he's like, "Hey, do I know you?" And Better Call Saul is like, "Nah, I'm a guy." And inmate's like, "Oh wait, I do know you. You're Better Call Saul." And Better Call Saul is like, "Nah, that ain't me. This is a guy." And then another inmate looks over. He's like, "Wait, that is Better Call Saul." And then all the inmates slowly they start chanting "Better Call Saul, Better Call Saul," and it escalates until it just cuts to the credits.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, very avant-garde.
I was gonna say a strange note to end on, but I feel like you would think I was joking if I said that, and I am absolutely not joking.
Right.
But I would still watch Better Call Saul. I actually, before this, watched just random Breaking Bad clips because they just kept coming up on YouTube. And
You're retarded.
That was the impetus to watch the show. So now it's like meeting up with a mild acquaintance when I get to that scene I've seen before.
Right.
I've seen this. It really gives context to watch the other 97% of the show.
What kind of absolute madman decided to make the word scene and scene? So you have to say, I've seen that scene.
Oh, I'm sure it was the same guy.
I think so.
Yeah. You know, you ever play the board game Seen It?
Oh yeah, I actually played Seinfeld Seen It.
That's a fun time. Let's gather around the DVD player and use this strange remote that somehow just is hard and doesn't function.
What were they thinking?
Oh, watch this clip of fucking can't even think of a movie of Back to the Future. And it's like, oh, what time was on the bell tower clock?
I hate trivia.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to a trivia night, like at a bar?
No, but I will say that my disdain for trivia is just an extension of my hatred of knowledge.
It's not really knowledge, though, is it? It's obsession.
Yes. Have you gone to a bar trivia night?
Yeah, a few times.
You win?
No.
Did you tilt?
Yes, I threw the table up in the air and started screeching.
The worst thing about trivia is trivia competitions is how smug the people who win them are.
Yes, well, it's also like you get like young millennials who, like have just autistically read up on 80s culture for some reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're just generally they're kind of frequented by unlikable people.
Yeah, but that's everywhere.
Unlikable people?
Well, what place is frequented by likable people? Like what place could you walk into and be like, yeah, this is my crew. I get along with these guys. I don't think such a place exists.
Hostess Club.
Pretty good answer.
Soapland.
Girls bar.
But yeah, other than that, I guess not. The ramen shop.
Nah, everyone just keeps to themselves, but they're still dumb.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Have you ever heard the term Breaking Bad before the show?
No.
Yeah, me
No.
neither. Which makes it very strange because in the first episode, one character says to another, it's like, what, you're just gonna break bad? And he's just like, what?
Isn't that what Jesus did?
In the Bible?
Yeah. He broke bad.
Oh, I thought you were saying that he name dropped the Bible in the Bible.
No, maybe he was down bad, actually. I can't remember.
For whom? For Mary Magdalene?
Or his mother.
No, that's a different Mary. You don't know anything about Bible.
Oh, the other Mary, sorry. No, you said Mary and I got excited.
Yeah, I know, honey. But the one that was a prostitute.
Right,
Whore.
right. Everyone would be, actually.
Down bad for a prostitute? Well, I guess you know more about that than me.
She was hot, wasn't she?
I don't think the Bible described her as hot.
I'm going to put out a new Bible that describes all the women in detail.
The Brandon Hobbs version, like to supplant the King James version.
Yeah. The Hobbesian version. Hobbesian Bible.
The Book of Hobbs. No, then you just get a bunch of smug Redditors buying it looking for Calvin and Hobbes content.
That's right. Oh, man. Calvin and Hobbes fans are something else.
It's like, oh my god, it's so artistic and creative.
It's witty.
They ride the sled down the hill. Calvin, he says his mind.
Look at him go pee-pee. I'm going to put that on the back of my truck.
Right next to these fake testicles.
My Blue Lives Matter sticker. My Don't Tread on Me flag.
The thin blue line.
I found a great thin blue line shirt in Japan.
Yeah?
You might have been with me once. When
Oh, I've been with you.
When I was there. You might have been with me when I found it.
I don't recall, but why don't you explain it to me?
That's about it. Well, it was just funny finding a thin blue line shirt in Japan. It was in Akihabara.
I thought the design of it in particular was good. Like a good thin blue line shirt.
No, I guess it was, quote, good because it was funny just by virtue of existing.
Yeah. Life is a fuck.
Life is a highway.
Life is a pool boy's asshole. I'm gonna ride it all night long.
That was the original version.
Yeah, by I don't know. I was gonna say Rascal Flatts, but that's not the original. They did a fucking cover for Cars.
Why do you know that?
What? That song was quite popular in 2000 whatever. You turn on the radio and you just kind of like it's whatever.
How do you know it was for Cars?
Plead the Fifth. Because I've never seen Cars.
Cars is for babies.
Yeah. When I only fuck cars. I only know bicycles.
You only fuck cars. Cars really is like the exact moment Pixar became cynical, because they were like, all right, what should our next movie be? How about one that we can literally just fill with low effort toys?
I think that the first Cars, while not a great movie, was
You're gonna go to bat for it?
Was in line with the type of content Pixar made and would greenlight. But it was definitely their worst film up until that time. However, once it was so successful, the making a sequel was purely a cash grab, cynical move. So I don't fault the creation of Cars. I do fault their reaction to its success. And perhaps the hiring of Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy.
Larry the Trucker Man.
He's he actually seems like a nice guy though.
Well, I mean, he doesn't seem like an asshole, but at the same time, I don't know much I'd enjoy hanging
you
out
don't
with
find
him.
him funny?
No, not
You don't think
really.
he's- You don't want to get her done?
No, I don't like Get Her Done.
You don't like it?
I
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan of Jeff Foxworthy either, or is it Jeff
You don't like the
Dunham?
Blue Collar Comedy Tour?
Yeah, who are these guys?
Yeah. I don't remember who the other guy is because there's Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy. There's like one other dude, right?
There's two other dudes.
Okay, there's two other dudes.
I'll do the footwork here. I'll look this up.
All right, thanks. The footwork. You
Yeah.
mean the legwork?
No, what? Okay, here's the thing. Japanese people use the term footwork a lot, and I don't really know why or what it
Oh, he's
refers to.
Japanese now.
I am. Bill Engvall and Ron White were the other
Yes, that's right. Ron White wasn't he kind of like he didn't really show up as much as all the other guys?
I don't know these other guys. I don't know their content. But Bill Engvall was the host of Lingo on the Game Show Network.
That's right. I think Foxworthy did a game show too, that fifth grader or whatever.
Yeah, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Which is
He did that fifth grader?
Not a fan of that show either.
No, it's awful.
No, mostly because of the damage it did to my self-esteem. Now, who
They
I'm
should
gonna-
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go.
Put them in the arena. Who do you like more, the Blue Collar Comedy Tour or the Kings of Comedy Tour?
Who was that again?
It was the Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer.
Oh, they're all black guys.
Bernie Mac. And
I've never actually seen them.
what is this last guy's name? D.L. Hughley, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna send you the poster for the film release of their tour. It's kind of silly. They all got suits on that are like really big.
Right. Well, that was the style.
Right. We got jokes. Steve Harvey's pants are like up to his fucking nipples. It's just 4 acts in a row of white people. Well, black people.
White people do it like this, but black people, we be doing it like this.
The comedians give the audience their views about African American culture, race relations, religion, and family.
They're kind of like women comedians, right?
Where they just talk about one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if these guys also just talk about the cervix, but...
Steve Harvey gets up on stage. I'm on my period today.
The audience just goes wild. Okay, I'm gonna give you one shot. Don't look at the poster again. Don't research it. Who directed this?
Okay. Spike Jones.
No, you had the wrong name, but you have the right idea. What's his name?
I don't know.
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
Right.
Damn.
I'm sure.
Damn it.
That's who you were thinking of.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah. Spike Jones is a white guy.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like it though, does it?
No, I suppose it doesn't. Because you got the Spike Lee, Stan Lee kind of
Yeah.
overhang.
That's amazing. It really was Spike Lee. That's so funny. Well, I mean, there are only like 2 black directors, so. Oh wait, 3 because we got Jordan Peele now.
Right. Who's the other one?
What's his name?
That's literally what I'm asking you.
I just forgot.
Very nice.
I only have room for 2 black directors in my head.
A new one came out and you had to jettison the old one.
By remembering Jordan Peele, I've completely forgotten who I was thinking of. Tyler Perry.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
I mean, that's not... Like, the other guys make real films. Tyler Perry just...
Well, he's a genuine actor now that he was in that Dick Cheney film.
Ah, Dick?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that movie called Dick.
I'm waiting for the Over It crowd to come after Medea. Because I think
Well, she already went to jail.
That'd be a very funny crossover of things that I'm vaguely aware of. Do you ever watch the Bernie Mac show?
No, and I never will.
Well, I mean, it's off the air, but it was decently funny. Yeah, here's the okay. Never forget this topic. I'm still on the original Kings of Comedy Wikipedia page. In the synopsis section, where it, for some reason, attempts to describe the acts of all four of these guys. It says Bernie Mac is most autobiographical of the group. He turns his comedy on himself. The sentence "he turns his comedy on himself" is hot linked to another Wikipedia article.
Okay.
And do you want to guess what it links to?
Self-deprecating comedy.
It's self-deprecation. That's exactly it. But
wow.
More to my point here is that I absolutely hate the way hot links are done on Wikipedia.
Okay.
For example, the part of Bernie Mac's act here, using the same article here, is talking about his effeminate nephew, whom he, and the article says, whom he refers to repeatedly as, quote, the faggot. Faggot
Nice.
being hot linked to the article for the word faggot. Now, there's also motherfucker later on, which is also hot linked to that article. It's like, who needs this? Who wanted this? It's just some guy.
A guy who learns the word faggot from the Kings of Comedy
Right.
Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I like to do deep dives on Wikipedia. I could just read it for hours. All right, last thing, and I'm going to close this page. The popularity of this movie inspired spin-offs including The Queens of Comedy, the original Latin Kings of Comedy, The Kims of Comedy, The Comedians of Comedy, and The Killers of Comedy.
Wow. They should be ashamed of themselves.
A lot of people should be ashamed.
The Kims of Comedy? What is it, just a bunch of Koreans?
It's pretty good. Can you name any of the Queens of Comedy?
Leslie Jones.
Oh. Who's that? Oh, no, this is earlier. This came out in 2001.
Tina Fey.
No, they're all black.
Oof, definitely not then.
Monique is the only name I recognized.
Well, Monique is a fairly common name.
Do you not know Monique? Big fat woman?
Oh, I know plenty of those, yeah.
Okay. Well, this is more unique than them.
More unique than Monique.
Right. Alright. Let's see the Latin Kings of Comedy. These are George Lopez. They're all George Lopez.
Is that really big fat guy there?
No, maybe. No, he's
How about
not.
John Leguizamo?
No, Cheech Marin is the only other name.
No.
Sans Chong.
So there's only two of them?
No, there's other guys. They're just nobodies.
Oh, okay.
The Comedians of Comedy is just a really challenging one to nail down. But it's headlined by Patton Oswalt and Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
I bet they thought they were really funny with that name.
Galifianakis?
No, the Comedians of Comedy.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of dumb.
That's something Patton Oswalt would be like, he'd be like giggling about it after he killed his wife.
I'll admit that I did enjoy the Zach Galifianakis Two Ferns bits.
I mean, there was some good stuff there. I don't hate Galifianakis.
But Patton Oswalt I don't find to be very funny.
He's not very... He's annoying. He's shrill.
He is shrill. He was on The King of Queens, which is somehow adjacent to these X of comedy things, given that we had both the Kings and Queens of Comedy.
Who's the guy who played Gollum?
Andy Serkis?
Yeah. Patton Oswalt is like if you took Andy Serkis and kind of like blew him up.
Made him really famous.
I do it. I do it.
All right, Killers of Comedy, last one. Now, these are all Howard Stern guys, whatever.
Baba Booey.
Beetlejuice.
He's like uncomfortable to look at.
He is, but damn if I haven't laughed really hard at some of these Beetlejuice YouTube clips. The one of him doing the trivia challenge against the other retarded guy.
Oh my god.
It's just... That's the kind of content we need for the Readier Room.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind... Well, we've already started to branch out into that, haven't we?
I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, we're having more guests these days.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my my lifestyle questioned. So get this, I'm arranging time for a guest, and we're like, we're probably going to record around 6,
yeah,
maybe 5 JST, and so I was like, 6 in the morning. What do you guys have day jobs? What are you doing? How do you live like this? I'm like, well, yeah, I wake up at like 3, and work starts later.
You really got asked this?
I did, actually.
That's it's bold.
That is bold.
Why would he assume that we're not making money off of this?
Well, I mean, you're ex-head of resources management, but I'm still working at Paramount, so.
No, well, yeah, but you know, we got the podcast. We're raking in Patreon money.
It was a little rude, but I play nice. I don't show my fangs.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I have to. But I didn't have to.
Well, lucky him.
Yeah, he survived to live another day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real.
We're creatures of the night.
Funny story. You ever hear the song?
Yeah, it was.
You ever hear the song "Keep Yourself Alive" by Queen?
Probably.
Well, all that's important is that the chorus is the title, "Keep Yourself Alive."
Mm-hmm.
The first 10 times I heard it, without knowing the title, I thought that the chorus was "Creatures of the Night."
That is kind of funny.
Something just pops on the radio and you hear it, and you don't know. You don't have the booklet with the lyrics there, and it's like, creatures of the night. Like, all right.
I'll have to go listen to it later. That's great.
I'm excited for you to report back. It's like, nah, dude, you're retarded. You got anything else important happening?
No, I think that's about it.
Oh, God. It's almost time.
It's time. We have a beautiful question of the week.
We do. Which I suppose we can get into. I usually transition in the question, but whatever. I'll just lose my job. It's fine.
Well, you told me how you were doing first, so I figured I would follow up by introducing the question of the week.
Well, I'm gonna end this whole episode by answering the trivia question correctly before you even ask it. So taste that.
Actually, that would be fun.
Yeah. I could try right now. Actually, is the answer the Enterprise B?
No, it's not. It's
Damn.
not.
All right,
I got some good stuff for you later, though.
That's exciting. I know we've had a dry spell sometimes.
Yeah. We had a few episodes where nothing really happened.
Oh, you could say that again. So this week's question of the week comes from one J.P. Morgan, who asks, "Hello, Admirals, longtime fan. Live Con and Prosper is coming up next month, and I want to take a break from the question to say that yes, we will be there at Live Con and Prosper. We'll be in Hall C, so be sure to drop on by. Anyway, JP, continuing, I was curious, what is the general protocol for dealing with celebs, at a con? I'm a rather shy individual, and I don't want to screw things up. I'm having anxiety attacks over this. Ah! Please help.
He included the ah.
That's right. That's right. It's kind of a what's the word where things just flow from your mind through the pen.
Something
Of mind. Flow. State of mind.
No. It's stream of consciousness.
Stream of consciousness. You're right. All right.
That's it.
Nice. Stream of consciousness question, which is great. So I prepared the answer for this because the protocol is actually somewhat extensive, especially for first timers, but once you get the hang of the steps, it flows really naturally. So generally what you want to do is whatever celebrity you want to make contact with, you want to approach them in a way that they know you're there. No one gets surprised. You don't sneak up on them. You don't come from the back. You don't do peekaboo. And then when you're within, they see you, you open your palm face up so that they can see the sugar cube inside of it. And from then on, just kind of approach slowly. Wait for them to acknowledge you, and you gotta really gauge their reaction. This is the only time you have a big choice to make. See if they seem to be placid or aggressive, right? If they seem placid, you can kind of get closer, stroke their hair a bit, touch the side of their head. But if they're aggressive, just get out of there. They might bite your hand if you offer the cube. Don't just go move on to someone else. There's other celebrities. I promise it'll be fine. But assuming everything's fine, you know they're reacting well to your touching. They want the cube. Then they should begin to gently lick the cube out of your hand and lift it with their tongue. And once that's done, you've basically made a friend for life, and you can just chat about whatever.
Yeah, and it's definitely important that you follow this to the T. We have a mutual friend who lost an entire arm to James Earl Jones one convention.
That was the cleanup on that was terrible. But you can print this out. Just use your speech to text app on your computer and your dot matrix printer, and it's not a fast pace, right? It's you got time to find your wits about you when you're in the middle of this. So
yeah, just don't panic.
Right. Keep a cool head. I'll give you the same advice I tell everybody when they're having a panic attack around me. Calm down, and it'll be fine.
Just calm down.
Right. And I guarantee you, I tell you, that advice has always worked. Everybody who I've ever told to calm down has then went on to calm down eventually.
Right. Because it's really funny. People just don't think about it. People never consider calming down.
Right. Well, that's what the panic attack does. It robs you of your faculties in a way where it just doesn't occur to you. So
it's like a broken flow chart.
Right. Having someone smart, level-headed around you to tell you to relax is the cure for all these things. I did the same thing with my friend who had an anger problem. Said, "Whoa, dude, just calm down." And he didn't need to go to anger management anymore.
Right, yeah. It's foolproof.
Right. I mean, unless the person giving the advice is a fool, then it's not foolproof. Much like alcohol. Okay, alcohol distilled by idiots, foolproof.
Not bad.
Not bad. All right. If you're like JP Morgan, you want us to answer your question on our Question of the Week segment, you can email us at thereadierroom@gmail.com. It's with a capital T and 2 capital R's. Or you can tweet at us at the Readier Room, or message our Reddit account, Readier Room. And in any of these venues, we'll take your question, appropriate it, and answer it on our Question of the Week segment every week.
That's right.
How you
I have a surprise for you.
Oh, what's that?
No break.
Oh my god. Now what if what if I needed to take a break?
Well, then we can break if you want.
We're not going to break.
Give me a break.
I'm not eating no Kit Kat bars around here.
I only eat the single Kit Kats, the big chunky ones.
I only eat the ones with stupid flavors that people insist on bringing back from Eastern countries. It's like, oh, it's the strawberry Kit Kat. It's in a pink wrapper.
Have you ever had matcha? Have you ever had a matcha Kit Kat?
Do you know what matcha
you
is?
gotta. Just screaming, pulling out my own hair.
Look what I found at the Chinese supermarket. Look, it's matcha Kit Kats, dude.
Matcha is green tea. I got these green tea Kit Kats. I got this urine Kit Kat.
There was a great. I really like the sweet potato flavor.
Sweet potatoes. Someone once offered me like, oh, I've made sweet potatoes. Would you like them? Would you like one? And I'm
Did
like,
this actually happen?
this is a real. Why do you always think my stories are fake?
Because it's just. Oh, continue.
So I thought, okay, they prepared a sweet potato. It's probably prepared in a way that is palatable. And I said, okay, and I followed them back to their
And it turns out they covered it with shit.
No. It was the opposite, where it was just a baked sweet potato, which was fine. But I just start eating it, and the flavor, it's generally pleasant, but it's kind of mild, and it's just so starchy. It's a potato. I'm just sitting there, just eating a potato, and I hadn't planned to eat a meal. I wasn't particularly hungry. I was just accepting what I thought was a treat, not an entire potato.
I used to enjoy eating sweet potatoes. It's just like snacks.
I felt like a cow chewing on grass.
You look like one too.
Damn. Must be this black and white sweater I'm wearing.
Must be your 4 tits.
2 of those are testicles, I'll have you know.
That's why I couldn't get any milk out of them.
That's right. I asked somebody the other day on advice for milking cows, and apparently you really gotta squeeze. It's not much of a pulling, it's a squeezing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
You form like a ring with your thumb and forefinger around the base of the teat, and squeeze.
Well, I'm kind of an expert at that. I've never milked a cow before, but I think I know how to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, I went on to ask for any pasteurization tips, but apparently you can just drink the milk raw without even cooking it.
It's better that way.
Nice and
It's more
foamy.
nutritious. Yeah.
Right, and I always said,
nice and warm.
if it's good enough for the calf, it's good enough for me. I'm glad we didn't take a break.
The wounded.
Right. Episode of Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Yes.
Which is kind of the next generation, because this one focuses on a character who isn't part of the principal cast. Really good episode.
Really good episode, wasn't it?
A really great episode. Got a lot of things going for it. Any Deep Space Nine fan has to appreciate this episode for the introduction of the Cardassians.
Yep.
And
of course,
for the introduction of a special guest star. But the actual story itself, when you rob it from its greater Trek context, is also very, very good.
Yeah. This kind of story is always fun, I think, and it's pulled off well. And actually, there's a little bit of a subversion at the end too, which is nice.
Yeah, with
where you think the rogue captain Maxwell is crazy, but it turns out that Picard agrees with them in the end,
and it's implied that they're correct in thinking.
Yes,
which is great.
So pretty cool.
Because part of what sets this episode apart from earlier TNG works is that characters are traumatized, racist, willing to take extreme violent measures in the case of the captain, and then they are justified in being so.
Right.
Whereas before it's a lot more just paragons of justice and whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So that's cool. It was a nice twist. Something the episode I think actually needed because it was turning out. I think it would have turned out to be maybe a little too predictable.
Yeah, I think it would have been strong without it, but it certainly elevates what came before it. In the same,
well, it was black and white.
In the same way that a bad ending doesn't just nix an episode entirely. I think that this good ending is not solely responsible for the quality of the episode.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't I don't think we're gonna have too much negative feedback on this episode, from us.
No,
it sounds like we both agree pretty much on everything.
If you want to get some negativity out of the way, small negativity, the first iteration of the Cardassian makeup and outfits is not great.
It's definitely different.
It's different. Now they have the core look to them. It's not. They don't completely change from later on, but it's not the fact that it's different that's the problem. It's some elements of the costuming, like those headpieces that they wear at the beginning.
Yes, that's weird.
That are just, they look silly.
Yeah,
because the base Cardassian design, alien design, I think is actually quite strong. It makes sense that was one that was chosen to get a lot of screen time later on.
Right.
How they got these like webbed necks, basically. And it's a good place to start, but it's not all there yet. That's just slightly negative, but not even that big a deal.
Yeah. And of course we have the facial hair.
Yes.
Which
the chops.
It was actually only in recent re-releases that Gul Masset's, it's Masset, right? Gul Masset.
Yeah.
They restored his mutton chops. Which actually, that put a cap on that I guess 20+ year debate.
Long time.
Mustache Gate, or Beard Gate. That's kind of its own argument, right?
I was team Beard Gate, for what it's worth.
I mean, it's beard like. I can see the mustache side too. But quick shout out, devoted Trekkie, loving cat dad, Steph Stepachnov. He's the one who got it restored in the not even the Blu-ray release, but the DVD before it. He wrote the book on Trek alien facial hair, and that's kind of become a resource for official productions too. So shout out to Cliff.
It's a shame that the Usenet's no longer around. I would love to see everyone's reaction once this was settled.
It is really a shame. Once Usenet went down, I've actually been completely lost on where to talk about Star Trek.
Right. I just find myself at the wall, in the other room, just talking at nothing.
Sometimes I'll boot up Usenet on my old computer and just stare at it.
I still try to connect to IRC.
Hoping a message will come through.
That sounds like an episode of Star Trek. In fact, I think that was an episode of Voyager. Sarah Silverman, of all people,
oh god,
is at a computer.
She's a queen of comedy,
and she's at a computer, and she intercepts like a message or a signal from Voyager, which somehow is back in the year 1995 or 7, whatever.
Oh my god, that's right. I think we were talking about this.
Yeah,
fairly recently.
It was bad, but anyway, the Cardassians, mentioning Gul Masset's mutton chops, they choose Gull as the name of like captain or leader, whatever. It's the title. And I always think of seagulls.
A flock of Gul Massets.
He is the only Cardassian, I believe, in the series to be depicted with facial hair, which only fueled the debate as it raged on.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was. Now, there's definitely an argument to be made that removing them creates, more uniformity, better consistency in the lore But
Well, it was strange because when they removed them, they didn't put anything in to replace them, so it was just black in the frame.
Yeah, that was about all that could be done on the budget that we had. I think technology was fairly limited back then.
The home video releases didn't get a lot of attention. Is the thing.
Yeah. Nowadays they're removing Henry Cavill's mustache and
which looked great.
All that fun stuff. Looked amazing.
I thought it was Henry Cavill.
Could be.
Want me to ask him?
Cavill?
I got his number at that party one time. But whenever I call it,
you're gonna hook up.
I wanted to hook up. I wasn't gonna tell him that, but I wanted to hook up.
Get his little baby hands around your throbbing member.
Yeah, that or my neck.
Mm.
Maybe at the same time. He's got long arms.
I don't think he does, actually.
He's got little baby T-Rex arms.
I think his arms are kind of tiny.
He was Superman. They wouldn't cast him as Superman if he didn't look like a Superman.
Right. If he couldn't fly, they wouldn't have cast him either.
Right, and his laser vision.
That's that was his party trick.
Does Superman always see things in X-ray, or does he like flip a switch behind his ear?
I think he can like do it at will.
I see. Who's Will?
Do it at will and grace.
Oh no. Now, Will and Grace was my favorite show about homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
Is that and Friends?
And that's saying something,
right?
Because you got so many, like the Readier Room.
Yeah, the Readier Room is a proud member of the Homosexual Trek Alliance.
All right, so why don't you take us through the episode?
Just the whole thing? Is that my challenge? 2 minutes or less.
Like
the whole...
like we usually do. I didn't write anything down today. So
well, we all take our job very seriously.
Yeah.
So I watched this episode in preparation for last week.
Yeah.
So
do neither of us remember?
I'm straining the limits of my memory here. It starts out with the Enterprise receiving the Cardassians, I believe. And it's wait, no. They get attacked. They get attacked by the Cardassians because...
Well, it actually starts off with Miles and Keiko having dinner or breakfast.
Oh, I forgot the best scene in the
which is
a
very
show.
important scene. We get introduced to Keiko's plankton loaf and sea berries.
Right, and then we started seeding later plot lines in this one.
That's right. We had this idea for a recurring plot line where Keiko would gradually put on weight because of O'Brien's feeder fetish.
All those oxtails.
All the muffins. But yeah, this ended up not happening because Rosalind informed us that this would be, I guess, an affront to her ancestors, right? Which would likely lead them to destroying her home's dragon temple again. And considering, they'd already destroyed it, 2-3 years prior, she didn't want to risk it. So we dropped it, just out of respect.
I remember it was a shame. Patrick in particular really wanted to see this one come to fruition.
Yes, for some reason.
But what are you gonna do?
Alas,
we still got this fun scene.
Fun? Question mark?
Fun. This scene?
I do have to wonder how these two got married without knowing what they each eat for breakfast.
Without knowing anything about each other, really.
They don't really seem to have any chemistry at all.
I imagine if this scene were to go on, Ryan would be like, "Oh yeah, we used to eat this all the time in Ireland." And
Ireland?
She'd be like, "Ireland? What's that?"
But yes, continuing the tried and true custom of Irish men marrying Japanese women.
Right. Yes, and
not knowing anything about them.
The continuous shitting on the English palate, which all the world can happily engage in.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny because places like the United States, where the image is hamburgers and pizza or whatever, still is seen as more culinarily refined than anything in the UK.
That's true. That's true. Well, the UK has curry now, so
Well, we do like curry.
we do like curry.
Anne Curry?
Huh?
You know Anne Curry?
Oh, and curry. Yeah,
Yeah. Stone Phillips?
yeah.
Dateline.
That was pretty good.
Thank
That
you.
was great.
Thank you. I tried really hard. So there's plans
Then they get attacked.
to engage with the Cardassians, but they end up getting attacked, because apparently a rogue ship has attacked, a Federation ship has attacked Cardassians elsewhere in space, so they assume that the war's back on.
The a Federation ship destroyed a space station, a science station,
Right.
quote unquote.
A civilian science station.
Yes.
And this is at risk of setting the war back on, which is cooled before the beginning of this episode. But there's a lot of dialogue
Right.
about, those Cardassians, they have no honor.
Right. We are suddenly introduced to this war that apparently had been raging for years.
Right. Which is a little strange, right? Wars don't happen so quietly that
Right.
you don't hear anything about them on the
we haven't heard
flagship
it
of the military.
Yeah. But whatever. I mean, that's that's Trek, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It comes with the property.
Which I think this highlights one of the few shortcomings of TNG is that there's this whole thing with war, Cardassians, and it's off, then it's on, and they're preparing for war again at the end, but it just never really resurfaces aside from one or two distinct, not serialized episodes.
So I guess that's one thing that we can thank DS9 for, because these guys are proper antagonists.
They're excellent antagonists, and I
Yeah.
think that one of the best qualities of Deep Space Nine is how it handles three Cardassian characters and their arcs over really all the events of that show. But through those three characters, there's just so much depiction of the Cardassian culture and psychology and all this stuff that really makes them very compelling.
Yeah.
All the way up
Unfortunately,
to the
this isn't
finale.
a DS9 podcast.
You will one day, on your deathbed, when you're in hospice.
I wish I had watched Deep Space Nine.
You'll have the time. You'll be in your deathbed, and there's nothing else to do, and you're like, all right, I'm just shitting in a bag these days. I guess it's Aid, put on Deep Space Nine. Start at episode 1, The Emissary.
And I'll shed a tear.
Yeah, you'll watch it through to the end. You'll love it,
And then
You'll-
die.
Yeah, you'll have nobody there to discuss it with you. I'll already be dead, and you'll regret everything. Mitch
I'm
was
sure I
right.
And then I'll go to hell.
Where you can watch all the Voyager you want.
Satan's like poking me with his like trident or whatever, and I'm hanging above a bed of lava, like by my foot, and he's like, "Oh, you should have watched Deep Space Nine when you had the chance."
I'll be up there in heaven. I get to the gates, and St. Peter's there with his book, and he's like,
Oh, Gates is there?
yeah, and he's like, oh man, wasn't it great that time Cisco and Gul Dukat got stuck on that planet together? And I'm like, yeah, it was fucking awesome, wasn't it? An afterlife based entirely around Star Trek.
Wow, what a dream for the ensigns. So what do we got?
So
Picard wants to investigate this.
he
and,
diffuses the situation.
right, and Massette's like, "You have an hour."
Well,
Right.
okay, the Cardassians come aboard, right?
They do come aboard. They do eventually come aboard.
Yeah, and they get to the root of who attacked them, and it's like, all right, we got to find this ship, this rogue captain. Oh, has anybody served with this captain? And O'Brien, but I guess before that, once we meet the onboard Cardassians, we get Massette, who's played by Mark Alimo, who went on to play the primary antagonist of Deep Space Nine, Gul
Right.
Dukat.
Right.
They do this a lot where he could have conceivably just played Gul Macet. Right, same actor, same character. There's not a lot of reason to change it, but they did. But I thought his performance in this was really good. Not as good as he would later go on to be. I don't know how, without having that context, that prior affinity for it, what you thought of his performance here.
Yeah, I thought he was good. Yeah, sure. I mean, I have seen some DS9 clips, and I from what I've seen, I do agree that he eventually does get better, which makes sense. But it's definitely not bad here.
I would say that he ultimately becomes probably the most charismatic Star Trek character. Which there's tight competition.
Does he gamble at the
for.
Casino, though?
He does not gamble at the casino. He's too angry for that. But he does go on to get possessed by Satan. More or less.
Dude, watch Deep Space Nine. It's great.
It is great. It's great.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. But after we had finished filming this episode, Mark actually kind of hid out on the lot for a few years. He initially said that, all right, I'm staying here until you give me a recurring role. I want to work on Trek, but I want to work on a Paramount production. I need a lasting job. And studio head said no. Said fuck off in as many words. And Mark said, all right, I'm not leaving. And he hid out on set. And they had security looking for him, but he was very, very good at eluding security, and he would leave these cryptic clues and letters and droppings and such.
Yeah, he was like a ninja.
Right. And anytime stuff would go missing from the craft services table, I would pretend to look for it, but I knew it was Mark. I knew.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, eventually when DS9 was being conceptualized, the heads finally capitulated and offered him the role of Gul Dukat, which he did really well in, as we were just saying.
Yeah, so it all worked out, really.
It shows for aspiring actors out there, just one of many ways of getting what you want.
Yes, exactly. And, he's clearly a fan. I don't think there was anyone so dedicated to the role as he was. So, really, why wouldn't you cast him?
He specifically grew up to have a really long neck to facilitate playing a Cardassian.
Yes, he did. He used those neck extenders.
Right. There's an episode or two of him not in Cardassian makeup. One of them he plays a racist white cop in 1950s, while Benjamin Sisko is a science fiction writer. Same thing. Who winds up on the wrong end of a racism.
Oh, he did a racism.
Right. But that is one of the series' more hailed episodes. There's a lot of hail in the scenes.
I'm actually excited to watch that one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous.
No, it's not. It's not. It's actually a very thoughtful, somewhat moving episode, and it's not like, yeah, it's got racism is bad stuff, but it's not as hackneyed as that might come across.
No, I mean, older Star Trek never is, so
yeah.
Well, usually isn't. Let's put it that way.
It's a good episode. You also get to see Michael Dorn without Worf makeup.
Ooh, that's fun.
He plays a pro baseballer.
That's always slightly disturbing.
More strange than seeing him without Worf makeup is hearing him do just a normal voice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because he does sound pretty different, to be honest.
Yeah, he's got a very smooth, just affable voice instead of Captain.
Yeah, Captain. Yeah. He's not always smirking.
Yeah, he doesn't always look perpetually uncomfortable. Worf's just a super awkward guy, and Michael Dorn is quite charming.
Yeah, it's weird. Michael Dorn might just be a bad actor.
I mean, yeah, but...
So but there's a charm to it.
After the Cardassians come aboard, and they go search for the captain, whose name I forget, They get
Maxwell.
Maxwell. They get O'Brien in there because he served with Maxwell, and he might offer insight. And immediately, there's beef. Becomes apparent there's beef.
There is beef
between O'Brien. Actually, a one-sided beef. O'Brien.
Yeah.
Cardassians.
This felt a little ham-fisted, not in premise, but it felt like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, the Cardassians up until now have come out of nowhere.
Have also, yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. O'Brien just never came off as the kind of. There's something that rubs me the wrong way about the elevator scene.
Yeah, it's probably the lack of professionalism, I think.
There's that, and also the Cardassian basically just asked him if he wants to have a drink. Maybe if the Cardassian was a little bit more antagonistic,
right, where
it would warrant that response.
Unless the desire was for O'Brien to just be in the wrong, right?
And I think that might be part of it, but it doesn't do a lot to endear O'Brien to us.
No. It might all just be a grander subversion because you.
Yeah, that's true.
You get the sense, like, okay, obviously the show's not going to advocate for racism, right? O'Brien's being a dick to this nice guy. He wasn't the one that was at that massacre or whatever. And that's kind of what it's setting up the moral to be. And then, as we discussed at the very end, it's like, no, the Cardassians are still up to something. Yeah.
I guess that's kind of... You know what? Yeah, you're right. I guess I can't complain too much about it. I guess I was just thinking about this in a vacuum, really. But I think you're right about that. So, yeah, he explodes on the Cardassians who wanted to just get litty with him.
I'm sorry?
They wanted to get litty.
What does that mean?
It means they get drunk. That's what the kids say these days.
Is this an extension of lit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And O'Brien retreats to his room to feed Keiko a potato casserole.
Right.
And he sings his little song. The
Minstrel Boy. Yes.
Yeah.
This was a Colm, not an original. He didn't make it, but he taught the staff this song because it was passed down through his family for generations. But I think the version that his family sung was a little different. The Minstrel Show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, we're not going to put something called the Minstrel Show in our network television episode, so we changed it to the Minstrel Boy.
Mm-hmm.
But Colm was not very incensed by that change. And he just stopped coming to tapings. He wasn't going to do it. It was an insult to... He said it was an insult to his family, his culture, and his sensibilities. That was his line.
Right.
Not happy. He eventually came back. We organized the principal cast to go to his house on his lawn and sing the Minstrel Show as he had learned it, as his family's version. And, that reconciliation worked. O'Brien came back. Obviously he did. We have the episode. O'Brien came back. Colm came back.
Same person, really.
And it's a happy ending. But if you ever want to see the original version of this song, you can look up the Minstrel Show song, folk tune, on Google, and you'll get it.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you do it with Safe Search off.
Right.
And on a public library computer with the volume up for the best viewing experience.
Yeah. Either that or on the subway in New York City.
Right. In New York City, yes. We're cultured here.
But O'Brien is singing that whilst preparing dinner for Keiko?
Yes, while feeding Keiko.
Just shoving things into her gullet.
Yes, yeah. Force feeding Keiko.
Wait, who's Gullet? So new Cardassian.
Ooh. You just you're talking to yourself now.
Yeah, just responding as if you had said that.
I'll you know what? You can do this by yourself.
Yeah,
Actually, it sounds like.
I've been practicing to make this a solo endeavor.
Right. So it turns out we're looking for a ship called the Phoenix,
Right.
which I believe is the first Nebula class ship we see on screen.
Right. It's also the first
like
ship to have risen from ashes.
Yeah. Funny enough.
Mm.
So by the time they've located it, the Phoenix is tailing a Cardassian supply ship.
Right. And everyone knows something bad is about to happen.
Right. And so the Enterprise, I believe, is too far away, but there is a Cardassian battleship over there that they need some kind of codes or something.
They need the codes to get through the shields, perhaps, because otherwise
the Phoenix shields, yeah.
The attack would be ineffective.
So, there's a lot of arguing back and forth. Worf doesn't want them to have the codes, but Picard tells him to give them the codes, of course. They attack the Phoenix, do not destroy it, and the Phoenix just comes right back around and blows both of the ships up.
Right.
Pretty cool. I like that. That was really cool.
Can we talk about Data's little map? Little screen map?
His little map, yeah.
Where it's just like a flat grid and it just shows these circles labeled Phoenix and
sure
Cardassian ship.
Cardassian ship. I've long since stopped asking questions about the graphical displays, considering they're always different. They're always what's the word?
Vague, oversimplified.
Yeah, that
impenetrable. Bespoke.
Yeah, they're bespoke.
I see. Makes complete sense.
It does.
Bespoke.
Yeah, they're bespoke. They're only applicable to the very specific situation we see them in.
Is that what bespoke means?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're.
I didn't know. All right, don't make fun of me. I didn't know bespoke was a real word. I thought it was just something people said.
Oh no! Like bespoke shirts. You thought that was just like
I've never heard that before.
Marketing lingo.
I've never heard that.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a big thing for a while. Bespoke stuff.
So what? Like this is the shirt you wear while you're raking leaves?
It's like made to order.
I mean, what else do you do with a maid if not order it around?
Right. I can hear the gears turning in your head.
It's got a very violent gnashing of slow churning gears that haven't spun in decades.
At least a week.
Yes. I've been deactivated in the interim between episodes.
So we learn that Captain Maxwell, who is the captain of the Phoenix, his family was killed by the Cardassians, but O'Brien tells Picard, right? O'Brien tells Picard that he doesn't believe, Maxwell has always been kind of by the books. He doesn't, act out. He doesn't let his emotions, take control. And this is the point where you as the audience, you're starting to get a picture of this guy who maybe suppressed his emotions for so long that now he's gone off the deep end, right?
Yeah, you don't really trust O'Brien's appraisal of the situation.
Right, he is Irish after all.
That's right, which led to many conflicts.
But O'Brien gives the most backhanded apology of all time after this.
It's like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he says, yeah, he goes to the bar and tells the Cardassian, he says, I shouldn't have said that. I don't hate you. I hate what you've done to me.
What you've made me become.
I hate it's not you I hate, Cardassian.
I liked that scene, other than kind of O'Brien just being a dick, which isn't bad inherently, but it's it is not much in the way of an apology.
No,
but my read on the situation was like O'Brien goes to he wants to apologize, and then talking to the Cardassian gets him going, and
sure, yeah,
just kind of blows up again.
Right.
But again, this is the kind of thing this trauma, you would never have gotten that in earlier TNG seasons.
No, totally.
And it is compelling. It's oddly deep for a character like O'Brien, who has had very, very few protracted scenes.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. We like O'Brien.
We do.
Like him here. He's kind of who I project onto.
He's the everyman. That was his dedicated role on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, except for being like the head of engineering or whatever.
Well, yeah. All right, O'Brien, you're getting transferred to Deep Space Nine. You're to be the everyman. But talking to writers of Deep Space Nine, and I might have mentioned this before, but they O'Brien had so many terrible things befall him because as more of an everyman, it's more relatable for the audience to see him going through something traumatic than one of the other superheroes that are on the cast.
Well, I mean, from what I've heard and what I've seen of DS9, I do appreciate the almost comical amount of situations O'Brien is subjected to.
It is nice. I mean, it's he's the second time I've used this word today. He's just so affable, very affable guy.
He is affable. He's affable,
and just makes all the scenes and episodes that feature him very, very endearing.
Yeah.
And then once he gets his family up and running, there's good drama there too. I know you watched the one episode where he is replaced by a clone, but nobody knows that. You don't know it. I guess everybody knows it except you, the viewer, and O'Brien. But seeing the way that plays out with his family in particular is another layer of relatability, and that was a good episode.
Yeah.
Wait until you see the one where he's in mental prison for 70 years.
I've heard of this.
It's good.
Maybe one day.
It's you get to see O'Brien put a gun in his mouth.
Great. Oh, that's a good reaction image. Gonna have to dig that one up.
Shocked that you haven't come across that on TV
I know, yeah.
before.
Well, all they do is talk about lower decks. So
Lower decks.
It's a very LGBT friendly general thread.
Is that what the L stands for? Lower decks?
Lower decks, yeah. Was there a fish in the Ready Room?
I don't recall.
Yeah,
you're fish watch. I'm sorry to say.
I am fish watch. I'm sorry. I'm losing it. We finally get Maxwell on board. They intercept the Phoenix, and Maxwell beams on board, and he's also affable,
which he had to be. If this guy,
he seems like a good guy.
If he was at all villainous or disagreeable, a lot harder to make the story work, I guess.
Yeah, totally. He meets Riker at the little teleport room, and O'Brien,
right?
And he's like I said, he's very very sociable, I guess. There's that one line. What is it about the silver tongue?
Yeah, I did some research on this one because I remember there being a story here, and I wrote the line down. He says, "You got a silver tongue by kissing the stone," right? So I used my connections, talked to the writers, and I wanted to get this story right. So the reason that line was there, it's a rather oblique reference to the 1984 film Romancing the Stone. And that was so popular at the time that we were writing this episode that part of the vision for the future was that this film would have been such an enduring classic, it would still be referenced into the 24th century, which is all part of Gene's design for the future.
Mm-hmm. And we still have time. It could experience kind of a revival in interest.
They released a new film somewhat recently that's very Romancing the Stone-esque. Fucking the Rock.
Starring Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Then again, that might not be a film, and just might be a fantasy of mine. I'm not quite sure.
It could be, or like a porn parody.
Right. No, I think there was also another movie with who was the woman in Ocean's 11? No, it wasn't her. That was the redhead. Who was the one in Miss Congeniality?
I don't know.
Very handsome woman.
Uh-huh.
What is her name? But anyway, it's her and some Channing Tatum-esque guy. And it's romancing the stone adjacent.
Okay.
God.
I don't watch chick flicks like you do.
Look, they're called romance films, and they're very good.
I also don't play with dolls.
When you see what those things are worth mint in the box, you will regret your words and your deeds. Mm-hmm. Okay, Sandra Bullock.
Ew. Oh, okay.
Like, as I mentioned, a very handsome woman.
She sucks.
The Lost City.
Okay.
With the Channing Tatum adjacent actor Channing Tatum.
Okay.
And this movie is romancing the stone adjacent.
Okay.
We got there.
There's also this movie called Sword in the Stone.
That's the one with Merlin, right?
Yeah, it's Merlin, who is not a mermaid.
Right.
Contrary to popular belief.
And there's Lancelot, who in that movie only lances a little.
Oh, man. I hate you. All right, Maxwell, he goes to Picard. He says, the Cardassian, the science station is actually a military supply base, or was, now it's destroyed. Picard wants proof. Maxwell cannot prove it. He doesn't have any.
But he's got a good gut feeling.
Right. Again, we're meant to believe that Maxwell is kind of losing it.
And he's got this whole rationale of bureaucrats and red tape that are interfering with the true war that's going to happen.
Right. It's very what's the name of that book? Heart of Darkness. It's very Heart of Darkness.
I was about to say Apocalypse Now, which would have outed me as a fool.
Well, actually, a lot of people don't really know the origin of this episode. But it is one of the writers just watched Apocalypse Now, and the rest is history. So, but I wanted to seem a little smarter.
Well, a lot of people, myself included, don't know that Apocalypse Now was based on anything. I thought it was a documentary.
Yeah. You got what's you got Marlon Brando. I wonder how many hamburgers he ate.
More like Marlon Hamdo.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando had a stipulation in his contract of not filming scenes where he had to stand up.
He did, yeah.
Which is
hilarious.
Contributed to his sedentary lifestyle and overall spherical form.
I love the pictures of him, like, kind of grasping the bars at his front gate, looking out longingly for, like, a McDonald's bag or something.
There's just something about these talented actors and directors just becoming amorphous blobs, him and Orson Welles, that just really tickles me.
Oh, it'll come for us all.
Yes, we will all become Marlon Brando fat in some time.
Mm-hmm. Well, every successful person does.
Oh, then we'll be safe.
All right, yeah. So Picard wants Maxwell to basically shut up and go to Starbase 211, where the Enterprise. You don't
remember the scenes of the episode, but you remember Starbase 211.
Yeah.
All right, this checks out.
It's 2 and then 1 + 1, which is also 2. 211.
That's a good way to remember it.
And
they start heading there, but
start heading there.
The Stargazer, the naval gazer. What is the Phoenix? Yeah, Stargazer is Picard's ship.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got that from. The Phoenix just leaves course.
Yep.
And sets off to prove that Maxwell's right by blowing up another thing and showing that it's got war supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Like another supply ship, maybe?
I'm literally reading the the episode summary.
Put the work in, and we get a good product.
When they arrive, the Phoenix does not appear to be ready to... I don't know. They're about to attack some kind of ship anyway.
Right. Well,
Right.
the Phoenix, the Enterprise
Yeah.
is trying to stop.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, the Phoenix is about to attack some kind of ship, but what happens?
They just have to.
Maxwell wants Picard to board the Cardassian ship, or he'll destroy it.
Right, and obviously boarding it will create an interplanetary.
Intergalactic.
No, they're in the same galaxy. Intersolar
incident.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Picard sends O'Brien over to the Phoenix to
Yes.
calm down, like just kind of diffuse the situation.
I know how he thinks, Captain. I can get through to him.
Right. And we get a nice scene here. We get the
Well, before this,
they sing a little song together.
O'Brien's such a genius that in this one instance they can just beam through shields.
Right.
Which is
I
usually,
didn't even really
usually
notice
a no-no. No, O'Brien's like,
Yeah.
oh, I can pinpoint the 0.1 second window where the shields are rotating.
Yeah, it's
And
like a
beam.
cycle or something. Yeah.
It's like, all right, O'Brien's a fucking genius when he needs to be. He's got Troy syndrome. But yeah, he goes
Yeah.
through, and there is a nice scene. The captain's like, I'm not going to win this one, am I? And they...
Yeah. I like Bob Maxwell. You know, the character and the actor, I think.
Right, the
I
Guntmeister.
enjoyed seeing. Yes, we called him the Guntmeister. That's right. Yeah. Affectionately, of course.
Right. Man, I haven't seen Gunty in years.
Yeah, I know. Is he still around?
Probably not.
But yeah, I enjoyed the performance quite a bit.
Same. It
And,
was a little bit much in the scene with him and Picard, where he starts off all nice and friendly, and he's like, "Oh, I guess this looks like a bureaucrat's office." But
Maybe, I don't know.
This quieter scene with O'Brien was quite good on both ends.
Yeah, I agree. And then of course they sing the minstrel show.
Yes.
The minstrel boy.
Right.
Sorry.
How did the minstrel show again? It was like, fell in love with a girl at the minstrel show. Right?
Why did you sing that like the opening to a Nickelodeon cartoon?
Oh.
Well, I fell in love with a girl from the minstrel show.
Do you know what you're singing?
Wait, what? No, what is it?
I'll leave that to you to figure out, but I just want you to know that you were perfectly on pitch for something that you don't even recognize.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is it the Leech Street Boys?
No. Just let that percolate inside your mind for a bit.
All right. I'm sure I'll wake up in a cold sweat tonight,
Yeah.
having realized what it was.
Anyway, and there's
Then
one
the
final
episode
scene.
ends.
No, because there's one more scene which we just both said we quite liked, and it's
Yeah, totally.
it's that debriefing with Picard and Gulmaset in the
Where they
meeting room.
all take off their underwear.
Right. O'Brien, I need you to debrief him.
My pleasure, Captain.
Oh Lord. But yeah, it turns out
Yeah, it
that
was a good scene.
they actually did have weapons on board.
Right. But and this is a great great justification for the existence of this episode. You know, the conflict. You know, Picard says, you know, if I did board that ship, we wouldn't be standing here right now. You know, we'd be preparing for war. So he kind of
Is that what
loses
that
the
meant?
battle.
I
What?
thought that meant that if I had boarded that ship, I would be standing on that ship. right now.
We'd be standing on that ship instead. This is smart television. Yeah,
Right. But yeah, it's
Picard chooses to lose the battle in order to preserve peace.
right.
And he says, "We'll be watching." And like you've noted, they watch for another 5 years and nothing really happens.
Until they randomly decide to invade some Cardassian installation solely so Picard can get captured and tortured over a 2-part episode.
Yeah.
Good episode.
Good. It was too good. It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, all right, this scene happened. I liked it. This scene happened. It was pretty good performances. Yeah, the story was engaging. All right, we're done.
But it's also, there was nothing like, I'm not going to say there was nothing like outstanding about it, but there was nothing that like blew my mind about it. It was kind of just like really good, you know?
Yeah, that's something I've noticed with, there's a lot of episodes that I like quite a bit that don't get the attention of some other ones. So,
Yeah.
for example, episodes like this, or, what was that one I really liked with the Klingons? And, I just forget the title. I know what episode it was. It was when Picard was kind of arbitrating that power struggle with those two guys.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I forget the title too, but that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said at the time, I still believe it's one of my favorite episodes of TNG. But
It is really good.
none of these episodes ever really get talked about in the same breath as like the Inner Light, Best of Both Worlds, like these big,
Right.
epic, very, very unique storylines. Whereas these are more, I don't know, low key, but still very, very well written and quite engaging. So I don't know.
I think I do agree with you, and I think episodes like these, when you kind of stack them on top of each other, and when you take them as a whole, I would rather have them than something like Best of Both Worlds, probably.
Right.
I think this is what I come to Trek for. This and all those episodes where Riker goes insane. This is the kind of episode where, speaking as an audience member, theoretically, right? I would go turn the TV on an afternoon, see this on TV, sit down, watch it, and be like, Star Trek rocks.
Right. So I think that TNG, to divvy up the episodes, is probably maybe 30% thoughtful, dramatic pieces like this one, 20% bombastic event episodes, and 50% ridiculous Troy stuff or silly things. Right.
You see, I would say it's 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will. Riker.
Whereas Deep Space Nine just cuts out 40% of the silly Troy stuff.
Yeah.
Brings it down to 10%.
Where
And
she
then-
turns into a cake.
Yeah, and then turns up the dial on both of the other elements, where there's a lot more thoughtful drama stuff and a lot more bombastic events episodes, which
Sure.
might sound a little tiring, but it's there's only a couple of episodes where things are stupid and silly, and somehow they all involve Ferengi.
Oh, God.
Like that one where Quark changes his gender.
Yeah. Oh, man. One day.
To watch Deep Space Nine, dude. It's great.
No! I can't wait for every Cardassian episode to be like 40 minutes of us talking about 40 minutes of you talking about Deep Space Nine to me.
Again, once you're in hospice, you'll
Yeah.
rue your actions. Saucer Seps.
Saucer Seps. Oh, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go 4.5.
Wow, it's really good. I
Yeah.
think I'm closer to 4, but I don't begrudge you.
Yeah. There's just so few things about this episode that are negative, and it's also just really entertaining. So
Hell yeah.
love
Hell
it.
yeah.
Love it. You know what? Maybe I will watch Deep Space Nine. But before that,
You
I
got
have
trivia?
some trivia.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And today's trivia.
Hold on, I
is
get one
going
more
to-
shot at answering it before you say
Okay.
it. Q who?
No.
Shit.
Today's trivia is going to revolve around Gul Macet.
Okay. Mark Lionel,
Now-
mutton chops.
I'm going to shoot off I think a few questions here.
Okay.
Macet reappears in what?
A novel.
Perfect. Actually, a series of novels, really. Not necessarily connected, but he appears in quite a few novels.
Okay.
The similarities between Macet and Ducat were explained as being due to the fact that
That they hired the same actor.
Canon, Mitch, canon.
That they were blood relatives.
You're getting there, yeah. More specific.
Brothers or cousins, brothers or cousins, brothers or cousins, cousins.
Perfect.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. However, Macet was a much more honorable man than Ducat.
Well, that's part of Ducat's thing. He's roguish.
Yeah, yeah. The Pocket DS9 story, Fearful Symmetry, implies that he grew facial hair as a conscious effort to...
Differentiate himself from Ducat.
Yes!
Hell yes!
Oh my god. Oh, here's something. In Unity, the parasitic being from Conspiracy tried to bond with him, but was unable to because of a Cardassian immunity to such parasites.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And unnecessary, but interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's
His
just an
mirror-
episode that you forget about. He's like, oh man, I forget that Star Trek had this body horror head explosion.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, it's ridiculous. His mirror universe counterpart appears in the novel Warpath. He was the commanding officer of the Klingon Cardassian Alliance vessel Traeger.
Okay.
Hmm.
And
That's where the article ends.
If I recall, there should have been an alliance with the Klingons, Cardassians, and the Bajorans.
The Romulans, right? Oh, Bajorans?
It was definitely three. And one of the Bajoran characters on Deep Space Nine, her Mirror Universe self is like working with Mirror Universe Worf and Cardassians. It might have been Bajorans, it might have just been that character, but it was definitely a three.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. The Bajorans became a major partner in the Alliance in the later 24th century, after their liberation from the control of the Terran Empire.
Right, and that was the thing. All three of those prongs were against the Terrans, the Earth.
I
Earthlings.
hate the Mirror Universe.
It's so dumb. Deep Space Nine has like 5 Mirror Universe episodes. One of the final one is where what is his name? That guy from Princess Bride, the bald guy, William Nash's.
Oh yeah.
Where the character he plays, the Grand Nagus, the leader of Ferengi, is kidnapped to the Mirror Universe. So Quark and his brother Rom have to go on and rescue him. It's terrible.
Wow. That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Good job though. You killed it.
Yeah, it was the tangential relation to Deep Space Nine that kept me alive here.
Your brain just expands thinking about Deep Space Nine. Your head just grows larger, like Megamind.
I don't know how I'm gonna wear this hat anymore.
I ruined your hat.
No, I always said I wear a lot of hats, but now I can only wear half of one.
All right, Mitch. I got a bun in the oven, so let's close this.
Wow, I didn't know you were pregnant. That's gonna.
I'm due in an hour.
Wow. Start contracting. Hee-hoo. So, this episode of the Readier Room is brought to you by our loving and tender sponsors, Denny's, home of the Grand Slam, and the Pep Boys, home of the 15-minute oil change. Drop the phrase Readier at either of these establishments in person or in an online checkout coupon code for 15% off of your order or purchase. That's going to do it for this week. Join us next week where we delve into the depths of yet another episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and I allude to more better episodes of Star Trek: Deep Space Nine. Until then, stay safe out there, and a humble stay ready.
The troublesome little man-child.
I stand before you defrocked, condemned to be a member of this lowest of species.
Thank you, Ensign. Engage.
Do you consider yourself superior to us?
Should have told him to mind his own damn business.
But I stroked the beard thusly. Do I not appear more intellectual?
Computer, freeze program.
Have you never dreamed of climbing inside the bottle?